His name is Tony. Anthony Martial. A player who's too good for Arsenal. Oh, Tony. Anthony Martial. With a red shirt on his back. He'll smoke your defence like crack. His name is Tony. Anthony Martial. Martial arts just part of his arsenal. Oh, Tony. Anthony Martial. Well, that's all I've got. Hey, everyone. It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United. How's it going? Get in there, my son. Come on. Have some of that, Manchester United. Just beaten Burnley in the Premier League. They're getting close the gap on City. You know they're going to lose to Newcastle United later. Of course they are. But temporarily, at least, close the gap. Good win for us in a really good game as well. Just what I want to say at the start of this video. Fair play, Burnley, you know. They put on a hell of a performance against us today. Really tried. Gave just as good as they got, really. And it could have gone either way. A good performance from United, considering Burnley were clearly bang up for it today. And they really gave us a good game. So just to get the result in a game we should be getting the result in is a nice satisfactory feeling. Okay, it wasn't a 3-4-0 drubbing, but it was an exciting game of football, one which Manchester United just managed to get the better of with our quality shining through in the form of, oh, Anthony Martial. What an unbelievable goal that was from him. You know, a player who's really come onto his own this season, just keeps doing it for Manchester United now. You know, the consistency's coming to his game. And I think that was a great goal from him. Fair play to Romelu Lukaku, you know, setting that up. Lovely bit of control from him, and just to hold it up there and get that ball across, switch play to the other side of the pitch where Anthony Martial's waiting for it. He controls it perfectly, shimmies, takes the defender out of the game and just pings it under the underside of the bar there into the back of the net. Fantastic goal. Defence didn't know where the bloody hell to look. Goalkeeper didn't know where the bloody hell to look. It was just a great finish from Anthony Martial, and that's what I like to see. Want to see a lot more of that from him. He's got the potential to be a truly world-class player, you know. Think about Thierry Henry when Thierry Henry was a young man, you know, and he comes over from Monaco to the Premier League. And he did well. He looked good. You know, he always looked good, but he never looked like a true world beater in that early part of his career. He had glimpses and moments, and some games he was outstanding, of course. But the consistency and the just deadly goal threat and everything didn't really come into Thierry Henry's game until a little bit later, where he just did it consistently week in, week out. And that's what I expect to see from Anthony Martial. I just expect to see him progress and become a truly world-class professional. And at the moment, based on how he looks, the skills that he possesses, the ability he has, the goals he's scoring, the impact he's having right now, I think he's just an absolute gem of a player. So, you know, Louis van Gaal signed him, didn't he? You know, fair play to Louis van Gaal. Saw something that we didn't see at the time. At the time, it was like £36 million or whatever it was for some 18-year-old lad, 19-year-old lad not many people have heard of. Well, he's turning out to be the bargain of the century now, especially if you look at the inflated transfer prices that are being paid for players now. Anthony Martial's an absolute bargain. He's from the bargain bin, but you wouldn't know it because he's top quality. Stunning performance from him today. I want to talk about Phil Jones, actually. Phil Jones, you know, bit hit or miss. He's come into his own since Jose's been at the club. Today he was an absolute beast. Absolute rock. Not only just a rock at the back, winning headers, tackles, interceptions, all that good stuff, but also just like going forward. He's got an eye for a pass, and also, you know, he's not afraid to have an overlapping run and get himself forward and be, you know, all over the place. I was really just absolutely blown away by Phil Jones' performance today. I thought he was outstanding. Romelu Lukaku's had a really good game. You know, it's generally an all-round good performance from Manchester United, and fair play to Burnley, as I say, because they made it very difficult for us. A couple of comments I'm going to read through that are coming through now. Thanks to everybody who's tuned in and watching this live match reaction, by the way. You're a bunch of legends. Do us a favour, chuck a like on it. Fireball034, Tony Martial scores again. He does indeed. He just keeps on doing it, does he? It's like our young lads that we were hoping to get that consistency into their game, and now starting to get that consistency into their game. Look at Jesse Lingard. He's another man who's doing it. Anthony Martial's doing it. I'm just a little bit worried for Marcus Rashford at the moment, because he seems the lowest down the pecking order, and rightfully so based on form. You know, he's not been outstanding recently, although he has been sort of feeding off scraps in terms of appearances and that sort of thing, trying to impress Jose. It's tough, isn't it? But, you know, that's only going to be more hampered with the potential arrival of Alexis Sanchez, which makes me worry even a little bit more for Rashford. What I think may happen in the future with Rashford is, you know, he's going to turn into that striker player for Manchester United, because what he has done a lot of is playing those advanced wide positions, you know, the right-hand side or the left-hand side of a 4-3-3 or, you know, that sort of thing. And he's done very well there. But, You know, I see his best position being striker, and hopefully he's going to play like third fiddle as that striker role, because I don't see necessarily Alexis Sanchez being the out-and-out striker on the side. We've got Lukaku, Zlatan Ibrahimovic is coming back into it. But certainly Marcus Rashford can occupy that spot behind them, and he is versatile. You can play him across anywhere, the front three. But I do worry for Marcus Rashford now. What's going to happen with Rashford in terms of Alexis Sanchez coming in, and he does seem to be down the pecking order. Gong Shi, how's it going, my friend from Taiwan? He says, well, he's actually from England, but he lives in Taiwan. He says Pogba was too selfish today. I agree, being just past the ball to freaking Anthony Martial ball. You know, what is that all about? You're a good player, you put in good performances. Too selfish, man. We saw it the other day with Neymar. It's despicable, man. Just pass the ball to your teammate, and it gives us more of an opportunity. It's much more likely for it to be a goal, you know? So, I'm disappointed with that as well. He's got to get that out of his game. If he's going to be a true, you know, complete midfielder for us, he has to be able to judge when a situation is better for the ball to be at his feet or a teammate's. I think he got that one wrong. Also, it's just a selfish side to him that you don't want to necessarily see, especially from a midfielder who's supposed to be supplying the goals, assisting his teammates, that sort of thing. You know, if you've got a selfish striker like a Ruud van Nistelrooy, that's a completely different story. You want that. You want somebody in that position who's selfish, got an eye for goal, that sort of thing. But in terms of Paul Pogba doing it, yeah, I thought it was a little bit too selfish. Jerry Lule in the house. How's it going, Jerry? She says we need a three-man midfield. Well, that's up for debate. You know, we've got Pogba and Matic in there. We did sort of get overrun at times today. Burnley managed to hit us on the break numerous times. But I think it's quite a good balance if you've got somebody like a Matic who is very strong, very solid, very good defensively, and then you do have more of a creative box-to-box type player who can also defend but is looking for those forward runs, forward passes, having shots from distance, that sort of thing. It gives you a good balance, but you might be right. I mean, Jose does like to play, you know, 4-3-3, a sort of variation of that, and all sorts, actually. He does mix it up, so, you know, that's up for debate. Alex Rudd in the house. How's it going, Alex? He says Rashford is young and his confidence may dip. Very true. I think there's been a lot of pressure and emphasis put on how well Marcus Rashford has been progressing, simply because at one point, not very long ago, he was our main man. He was like some 18, 19-year-old lad who's just burst on the scene. And when Louis van Gaal played him and he kept scoring, suddenly he got thrust into that, right, he's our impact player, he's our match winner now, effectively goal scorer up there when certain other players weren't doing it. So I think there's a lot of pressure on him. Hopefully the pressure's going to get eased now with some other new arrivals, but then again, he's got to show that fight and hunger and determination to get back into the side, and more importantly, when he does get into the side, he's got to perform and stick there. Alex Rincon in the house. How's it going, Alex, my friend? He says, Pig Martial. That's all he's got to say. What a stunning performance it was from the Frenchman. Just keeps getting better for Manchester United. You know, he is teetering on the world class now, I'd say. We all know he's got the qualities, the world class abilities in, you know, from 19 years of age. But the fact is, you know, he's only going to get better. He's starting to approach that period of career where he's really hitting the peak. And also, you know, he's starting to look like he can do it consistently. So for him to become a truly world-class player and rival the likes of Alexis Sanchez or, you know, Messi and Ronaldo in the future, these sorts of players, Thierry Henry, then he's going to have to continue progressing. He's going to have to get that consistency into his game, which he is doing nicely. I think he looks every bit of world-class right now. On his day, he's absolutely unplayable. What a finish. What a goal from him today. Stunning goal from him. And big up Romelu Lukaku for providing it as well. So, you know, that's nice to see. Lukaku's had a bit of a torrid time recently. He has popped up and scored a few more goals lately. But in terms of just being that goal machine that he was at the start of the season, it's, you know, it's just not happening for him right now. But for him to be able to have an impact in the game, set up a goal, they're generally all around good performance from him as well, you have to say. That's really nice to see because, you know, forward players, they can't always be scoring goals, but if they're not scoring goals, it's nice if they're making goals. So I thought that was a good bit of play from Romelu today. Just got a breakaway, controlled it nicely and found that ball in while he sort of fell to the ground like a big redwood that he is. Gungshi comments, it's so clear our team needs more aggression and speed. Alexis will help with that. Totally agree, you know, it shouldn't be that close a game with Burnley. We should be able to finish these things off. We should have more of a cutting edge in the final third, and we should create more chances. I think Alexis Sanchez coming into the side will have that effect on the team. It will give us that boost. Somebody who's that talented is certainly going to improve your starting 11. I mean, the reason we're signing Alexis Sanchez at this stage, is not only to get one over on City, but it's just to improve our team. You know, the thing is with Rashford, Rashford is an excellent young player, but that's what he is. He's just a young lad, and he's not really up there in terms of being the type of player that can compete with the other teams in the league's best player. He's not Eden Hazard yet or something, is he? You know, but Alexis Sanchez is, and he can do that. So he's going to come in, slot into the side immediately. I mean, just think of any sort of a ensemble you can think of across the front line there. Let's say you've got Lukaku as the striker there. You've got Martial on the left. And then you've got Alexis Sanchez on the right there of a trident of penetration. And then, you know, you could put, I don't know, Lingard, Mata, whoever you want in the middle there. That sounds like it's going to do some damage in the Premier League and the Champions League and anywhere else for that matter. You know, quality players all over that part of the pitch. That's what we want to see. We want to see world-class. And see what you want about Romelu Lukaku. The lad is world-class, in my opinion. Only because the Premier League is one of the best leagues in the world, and he's one of the top goal scorers in the Premier League for the last few seasons. So argue that he's not up there, you know, it's not the cleverest in my opinion. But then again, you know, he hasn't really done it on a world stage, has he? This is his first time competing at the top level with the top teams. We'll see how he gets on. So far, his goal scorer record's not too shabby. But certainly, Martial looks like he's going to turn into one of the best players in the world. And then Alexis Sanchez already is. So that sounds amazing, you know. Not to mention you've got the likes of Ibrahimovic backing him up. And you've got the likes of Marcus Rashford backing them up there. So there's going to be competition for places. That's good. That's healthy. That's what Jose wants. He wants these players working. He's the type of manager, he won't really mind leaving Alexis Sanchez out one game if it's just going to mean that a hungry Marcus Rashford is prepared to come in there and take his space. So, you know, I think it's going to work out really well for Man United. We just need to get the deal wrapped up now. You know, it's really, really going on. I just want to see that headline announced. Manchester United official, confirmed, signed. Alexis Sanchez is now a Manchester United player. Holding the shirt. That's when I'm going to believe that it's done. And it needs to get done ASAP because we need a player of that quality coming in. What a signing that's going to be, though. It looks like it's going to be wrapped up. Come on, Mkhitaryan. Do one, pal. He's obviously going in the opposite direction, it looks like, and maybe the deal was being slowed down by the negotiations with him joining us. I don't blame him. Who wants to join Arsenal? They're absolutely gash. But he's going to be joining Arsenal, hopefully, and Alexis Sanchez coming in the opposite direction, plus about 35 million to Arsenal. When that happens, I'll be a very happy man. He's a quality player. It's just a shame that Henrik Mkhitaryan wasn't more of a hit at Manchester United. He came in, he had all this expectation of what he'd done in Germany, and he just looked like a very good player when we first got him. You know, that I remember this, I think it was his first goal where he's come on, he scored like a chipped finish over the keeper. I thought, this lad is something special. And he did look very good for a while, but it just never really worked out for him at Manchester United. So that's a shame, but probably somewhere down to his level, you know, over at Arsenal there. You're right, Danny Welbeck, we're United's B team. We're a feeder club for Manchester United. Nice to meet you. That sort of thing. Magnus Eriksson, how's it going, Magnus? He commented said Henrik was lazy on the ball. He has passed his sell-by date. We got a world-class player. You're so right, mate. I've never seen a player just dilly-dally so much on the bloody ball and give it away so many times. And when he gives it away, just look like such a little bitch, you know, just gets muscled off the ball so easily. It's like you're from Armenia, pal. You're supposed to have serious testosterone, pal. You're supposed to be an absolute, you know, masculine beast, but he's not. He's just not, is he? He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it in his locker. But there you go. Didn't work out for him. Off he goes to Arsenal. See you later on, Henrik. No one gives a shit, pal. Kumaran Silva Kumar, how's it going, mate? He says, could we get Ronaldo with the Chilean legend? God, imagine that. What a January transfer window that would be. It's already going to be one of the best January transfer windows if we get Alexis Sanchez, because he's a ready-made Premier League machine. He's going to come to United's side and have an instant impact. You just know he is, unless he gets injured or something, but you know he's going to have an impact. Right up there with January transfer windows, such as the one we got Vidic and Patrice Evra, I must say. That was a pretty excellent transfer window. This will be right up there. If we could get Cristiano Ronaldo, just imagine that. That's not going to happen. I'm sure if that does happen, it'll be the end of the season. And anyway, how many times has this come out in the news? You know, Manchester United in talks, or Ronaldo looking to leave Real Madrid, perhaps wants to return to Manchester. You know, all this stuff. It's been going on for years. I think maybe he is coming to the end of it at Real Madrid. They're not doing very well this season, are they? They're having an absolute mare by their standards. They're not even third in the La Liga. They're having an absolute nightmare at Real Madrid, considering their squad they've got. Zinedine Zidane, couple of Champions League. Well, he's gone to shit, pal. But Ronaldo, you know, I'd love to see him back at United. Do I think it's going to happen in the next couple of years? I don't. I think we might see like a retirement cameo couple of seasons from him later on in his career. And I still think he would be good enough even then. Obviously, he's getting older now. But even if he's like 35, 36, I still think he'd be a heck of a player. And you know he's going to keep himself in physical peak condition all the time. Very dedicated, most professional, hard-working player you could possibly hope to imagine. So he's got every possibility of coming back to United at some point. But right now, I don't necessarily think it's going to happen. But if anybody can make it happen, I think Jose's the man. Obviously, he's had a previous history with Ronaldo. Ronaldo's best period in terms of a player. Obviously, he won the Champions League later, but were also with Jose Mourinho at Real Madrid there, winning the league, scoring a shitload of goals. He's just an unbelievable phenomenon of a player. So hopefully we could get Cristiano Ronaldo back. The money's involved, I don't even want to think about. Gungshi also says United could start a pensioners team. Are you saying we've got lots of old players? You know, we do. We have done historically, haven't we? You know, Giggsy playing until he's 40. Yeah, start a pensioners team, get Ronaldo, get Giggsy, get Scholesy back. I'll tell you what, though, that team would probably still compete with the likes of the lads of today. Paul Scholes could probably slot in there right now. He's not really going to, you know, lose a beat, is he? He's still past the ball. It's not like pace was ever a part of his game. He'll still be hacking people down like the good old days and putting the ping in those 60-yard diagonals. You know it. Same with Giggsy. You know, what an intelligent player, fantastic, you know, technician. And, okay, the pace went out of his game, but then later on in his career, he adapted to more of that sort of playmaker role rather than a flying winger, which is what he started out. So, yeah, that would be great to see. They should do that. Why don't they do that? You know that they've got an under-18s, under-21s. Why don't they just have like an over-40 Legends League, but every single week? You know, like it's Manchester United versus Arsenal Legends, and they've got frickin' Dicko and Keown playing and frickin' Vieira or whoever. You know, maybe it's got its own totally different transfer frickin' setup. You know, maybe Vieira gets transferred over to United. Controversial in the Legends League, you know? That can happen. Nice question there, Gungshi. Ron Rogers says, are you in the White House? Yeah, I know it looks like it, doesn't it? It looks like I'm in the White House, doesn't it, mate? You know, my fellow Americans, I must announce that I'm just in the garage. Oh, dear. Alex Rudd, legends get hurt. That's very true. The injury list would be very, very long in the old Legends League, wouldn't it? You know, especially if you got people like Michael Owen knocking about. Paul Lucas comments, Jones, great game. Yeah, I said that earlier in the video. Great performance from Phil Jones. He's really come into his own since Jose's come in. I just want to see him do it consistently now. He's a quality player on his day. And just like he was today, can't see any reason why he can't be a stalwart for Manchester United for the rest of his career, and England for that matter. Just absolute player. When we first signed him from Blackburn, he looked like this amazing all-round sort of defensive player, somebody who could take the ball forward, score goals. Even I saw him do some ridiculous things early on in his career. And, you know, dart forward. Absolutely got some pace on him, the lad. But also very good defensively, very good in the tackle, very good header of the ball, all that stuff. He got injured. He struggled with injuries. We had the Moyes effect. We had the Louis van Gaal effect. That didn't help anybody out. And Phil Jones just looked like his career had stalled, and maybe he wouldn't go on to be that top-quality player we all thought he was going to be, you know, like the next Rio or something like that. But now it looks like maybe he could recapture that. Maybe he could get back on track with his career and be that player that we all hope he's going to be. And we don't have to go out there and sign a top quality world-class centre-back because he is one. That's what we're all hoping for. Ron Roger, Rashford has zero confidence. I must say, I mean, it's looking like it. It must be difficult for Rashford because he's got to break into that side of really top quality players who are all older than him, who are all further along in their career. And right now, Manchester United need results. And he is going to play here and there because Jose obviously rotates the side, and in certain games, I expect to see Rashford playing that Yeovil game, for instance. But if he doesn't play and doesn't play that often, he's not going to score many goals, and he's not going to get the confidence that he needs. He's probably ultimately not going to get the progression that he needs. It's a fine balance between overdoing a player, which I think is what Louis van Gaal perhaps did with Rashford earlier on in his career. You know, Michael Owen back in the day played too much too young. He was amazing, but he played too much too young, affected him later on in his career. I think it's better in a way to come through a bit slower. So I'm not too worried for Rashford because he's still very young and he's already on the scene. It's like everybody knows who Marcus Rashford is. He had an unbelievable breakthrough season. He's in the England setup. He's in for a shout with going to the World Cup, all that sort of stuff. But for him to be on that plane and for him to progress and get to the level that we all expect him to get to, which is a very decent, high-end, top-quality player, you know, I'm talking about somebody like, you know, for England, let's say he's a Michael Owen rather than a Gabby Agbonlahor, you know, because there's a fine line, there's a big difference, and the progression of a player is down to a lot of factors, but factors he needs to be playing, he needs to be scoring, he needs to be getting confidence, and he needs to be improving. Haven't seen a lot from him this season, really. He's gone missing sometimes, but then he hasn't had that many opportunities. Like I was saying earlier, Alexis Sanchez coming in is only going to further hamper the chances that he will get to impress and get in the side and actually get the game time that he needs to turn into that freaking legend player. Kumaran says Young is our best left back so far, 100%. What a great player he has turned out to be this season. Jose's got the best out of him again. You can't argue with what Jose's done. He's turned these average players who are underachieving at Manchester United and just suddenly made them good again. He's done that with Ashley Young. He's done that with Phil Jones. Chris Smalling looked good today as well. Antonio Valencia. He's done a really good job with just getting the best out of these players that we've got. And I think Ashley Young is certainly England's best left back that we could take. You know, there's Danny Rose for Tottenham, but he's not really been that fantastic recently. 100% Ashley Young is the man. Gongshi with a little donation there, pal. Thank you very much for the super chat. Absolute legend. He sent me some Taiwanese currency there, and it's much appreciated. Legend. Thank you very much for your continued support on the channel. Always getting involved with these comments, and he's put a comment on here. Bring on Yeovil and then Spurs. I'm going to try and go to that Yeovil game as well, because obviously it's about an hour drive from where I am down on the south coast. It usually costs me too much money and time and everything to be able to go to games. You know, last game I went to was like four odd years ago, Arsenal versus United, and that was at the Emirates away game, and before that was Birmingham, so that's how long ago that was. So I need to get myself to a game. The Yeovil game I'm going to try and go to, going to try and get the old second-hand ticket on the black market there and get in, hopefully. So we'll see. But yeah, looking forward to that game. It should be a chance for the likes of Marcus Rashford and some of the other players that aren't quite, you know, first team in the fold every week to come on and get an opportunity to perform. Shara June Sabasan says, are you ever going to live stream on Instagram? Yeah, I should do, pal. I don't really use Instagram that much. Mostly just to, you know, follow random people that I'm interested in and, you know, like fitness girls. I'm joking a few. And then, you know, but mostly United players, football things, UFC things, that sort of thing. But yeah, I need to start posting more to Instagram and also make maybe some live videos and stream on there 100%. So thank you for the inspiration there, pal. I may do that. Incidentally, if you don't follow me on Instagram, search Mr. Flying Pig HD and give me a follow. So that'd be much appreciated. Also on Facebook and Twitter, all that good stuff. Mr. Flying Pig HD, go check it out. Alex Rudd with a comment. Get Henry to sit in full kit in the United section if you go to Spurs game. Yeah, I know we were talking about that, if we could make it happen. Obviously, it's at Wembley. Tickets may be a bit easier to get than usual, so we may do that. But the only problem is, I have been to a game of football when I sat in the away end, and that was at the Birmingham versus Manchester United at St Andrews when Joe Hart was on loan as their keeper. That was when it was, whatever season that is. And yeah, I sat in the away end and it was absolutely fucking shit, you know. So I wouldn't wish that upon anybody because, you know, there's all these freaking blue-nosed mugs giving it the big and all that rubbish, and you've just got to put up with it. Otherwise, pretty much, you might get your face bashed in. You know, there's a couple of United fans who were giving it the big, and then they're like, "Oh, there's season ticket holders in here, mate. Get your fucking head kicked in," and all this stuff. You know, it's supposed to be a Brummie accent there. But anyway, yeah. So we're going to try and go to a couple of games actually, and just maybe do some live match reactions, live reports. Maybe if there's a bit of a quiet part of the stadium, even a live stream commentary whilst we're watching the game in the stadium. We should definitely try and do that. Anyway, I'm pretty much going to wrap it up here now, but there we have it. Manchester United beat Burnley 1-0, thanks to an Anthony Martial goal out of the very top draw. Quality from the lad. Great performance from him. Great performance from Phil Jones. Robert Lukaku really impressed generally with the all-round team performance. Defensively, very good. Young E, Smalling, excellent. So Pogba was decent. Not as good as in his last game, but pretty decent. Matic, solid, you know. So all things going positive at the moment. We've gained some points on Man City. Man City are going to drop some points later against Newcastle. Come on, believe. And hopefully Manchester United are still in with a shout of challenging for that Premier League title. It'll laugh as I say it because it is a bit crazy to say that as we are so far behind City. But stranger things have happened, haven't they? You know, Leicester won the league. City could just implode and do a complete Pep Guardiola bottle job and lose the next 4 games, and all of a sudden Manchester United are right back in it. I doubt it. One thing's for sure, United have got to keep winning, keep that pressure on. I think that's 7 or 8 games unbeaten now, pretty decent. We haven't conceded in a very long time either. Good all-round stuff from Manchester United. Just got to keep it going now, hunting down those games. If we can't catch City come the end of the season, then hopefully we cut that gap down to a significant margin, because it doesn't look good to see the City walk away with the league. So we just got to keep going, keep doing our thing, and hope that Manchester United can kick on now. We've got Sanchez coming in, hopefully. Hopefully that's gonna happen. Sanchez coming in is definitely going to be a big boost that we need right now. It's going to give competition for places. We're going to have instant quality out there on the pitch. He's a match winner. Just look at what he did at Arsenal there, who, let's face it, are a bit of a shit team. They're not great, they're not fantastic, but he always looked fantastic. He always looked great, and he won them games and won them a lot of points. Alexis Sanchez, to me, is one of the best players in the Premier League, so to get him in the side is quality. Right, thank you very much for tuning into the channel. Everybody who's doing so right now, you're a bunch of legends. Do us a favour, chuck a like on this video. Make sure you do follow us on social media, Mr. Flying Pig HD on all platforms. Get your thoughts and opinions in these comment sections. Everybody who has commented right now and I've not responded to, I apologise. I've been trying to talk and trying to read some comments, and everybody else who's got involved. Gungshi, Alex Rincon, Alex Rudd, all the usual suspects. Thank you so much for getting involved on this channel. It does mean a lot. I appreciate it, and I love interacting with you all. Come back in a few minutes' time when this video has been published and get your thoughts and comments in the comments section after it's been published to YouTube, so they stick around and everybody can see them. I'll get involved and comment as many back as I appreciate. No racist ones or derogatory ones or insulting ones, though. You could just piss off. But anyway, get in there, my son. United, job done. We march on. Let's keep this trainer rolling. Keep picking up points. You never know what's going to happen come the end of the season. Big games coming up. Big period for Manchester United. Let's get Alexis Sanchez in, and maybe even Cristiano Ronaldo and Mesut Ozil. You know, just totally rape Arsenal. Let's just rape Arsenal with their best players. Here you go, Arsenal. Thanks for it. Our best feeder club. You know, we've got RVP. We love it. Let's get Ozil and Alexis Sanchez, although if we don't get Ozil, I'm not that bothered. I don't reckon he's that great, to be honest, but he is decent. He probably would give us something else, but there you go. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. Have yourself a good one. This is the Pig on Flying Pig United. Take it easy. I'll see you soon, and come on, Manchester United.